This is York. Peaceful, quiet, and friendly. Or is it? With a total of 504 recorded hauntings, York is the most haunted city in the world. With its history of conflict and many tragic events, York boasts more ghosts than any other city in the world. A ghostly figure with the score to settle is in residence in just about every street in town. This next story is the most gruesome of them all. Thomas Percy, the 7th Earl of Northumberland, was one of the most powerful men in 16th century England. As a staunch Catholic, he continually opposed the reign of the Protestant Queen, Elizabeth I, from his strongholds in the north. He was involved in a long series of unsuccessful intrigues, battles, and sieges designed to overthrow the lady. Before finally having to flee to Scotland, betrayed and captured, Northumberland was eventually dragged in chains back to York to be executed for treason. Thomas was beheaded on 22nd of August 1572 and his head stuck on a large spike on Micklegate Bar. To this day, the headless form of the Earl staggers between the graves of a knight searching for his capital loss.
To our final ghost story tonight, which is about murder. It's about greed, but mainly it's about guilt. He choked to death. Well, the area we have just walked through is called Bedden, and when they laid the foundations for these new homes here, they uncovered the remains of several small children. The people who now live in these homes here, well, they know their homes are haunted. Strange things happen here. One of the most frightening being that often in the middle of the night they will hear the screams of young children in pain. Can you scream, child? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Well, that will keep them awake tonight. Well, what we do know is that in this area there used to be a workhouse. And by all accounts, the workhouse master was an evil man. He took the money given to care for the children and he spent it on himself. Well, naturally, many of the children died of starvation, and he would bury their bodies in the ground where you're standing now. But the winters in York could be extremely cold, and the ground would often freeze, rock hard. So unable to bury the bodies, he would carry them down to his basement and lock them in a cupboard to rot and decay until spring. Well, one night he carried down the body of a small boy and he placed him into the cupboard. But this child was not dead. He had merely fainted due to lack of nourishment. And he woke up and found himself in the pitch black cupboard, surrounded by all the bones and rotting flesh of his former friends. Just like you to imagine for a minute just how he must have felt. I want everybody here just to close your eyes. Do it now. Everybody close your eyes and try to imagine that you are in that pitch black cupboard. The smell of rotting flesh. Maggots start to crawl up your nose, into your ears. They start to force their way between your lips. And gradually you stretch out your arms and your hands. Come on, do it now. Stretch them out in front of you and feel all the rotten bodies all around. Oh, come on, sir, you paid your money. You might as well enjoy yourself. Okay, stop that now. Stop that now. Well, I said stop that now, Jim. Well, naturally, the child screamed. And in fact, he screamed so loudly that he woke up all the other children in the workhouse that night. They were petrified. They didn't know what to do. But that night, they made a very big mistake. They went and woke up the workhouse master. And that night, that man, because of all the guilt on his mind, he went completely mad. He went around with a knife. He stabbed every last child in his care. He was discovered the next morning in his basement, staring up at the cupboard. Fortunately, he was taken away and hanged. But from that day to this, the people who now live in these homes here will often hear the screams of young children in pain.
The relentless spirits of the dead children are still occasionally seen in the area. More usually, however, it is their playful laughter and their screams of terror that are heard. To this day, York is still remembered for its tales of ghouls and spirits. There are many ghost walks that take place within the city, in the deep, dark, narrow streets, but these are merely for fun and entertainment purposes, and make a mockery of these ghostly events. People may stand and laugh and be very skeptical of these stories, but beware, in York, anything is possible.